Episode 2 of Gep Talk. It's your host, John Gebner. I'm with my boy, Logan Butler. You join me on the Zoom. Logan, how you doing today?
I'm all right. I'm all right. How you doing, Johnny?
I'm doing solid. I just got back at school, hanging in there. So, for the audience who watching at home, who tune back in for episode 2, the special episode of Gep Talk, tell them a little something about yourself.
Well, uh, played at EKU football for a little bit on scholarship. And then went off to Kentucky, played rugby. That's where I met you up there. Met a couple All-Star teams, this and that, yada, yada, yada. But, just a long-time fan of the pod. Can't wait to get this shit started.
Okay. And as we both know, you're a big NFL guy, big football guy. So,
Sure.
who's your team? Who's your team?
So Arizona Cardinals, my football team. If we're going college, I had to say LSU, Miami. Both my teams are down bad this year, so I don't really want to talk about it.
Okay. And you've had any big storylines from like this season that really stand out to you, like some shout outs you want to give a team or player or a moment of the season?
I just want to say shout out to D Hop for real for reviving my confidence in the Arizona Cardinals. I mean, I was we were hurting as an Arizona Cardinal fan. We were hurting after we took Josh Rosen in the first round pick and all that stuff, and then went back the next year, fired the head coach, got another number one pick, and I just thought we were gonna be out of luck for a while, but D Hop really came in and saved us. So shout out to D Hop.
You guys definitely have a good future there in Arizona. It's a shame you guys couldn't make the playoffs. Unfortunately, my Bears snuck in. Dangerous team, but we'll get to that later. But shout out to the Bears.
We'll have to.
But yeah, pretty solid football season. There was some games, some good new players. As football's a little different without the fans, like you could tell, but like it was a little interesting this year. I like you could really hear the players a little bit more, and I'm glad they did that. I'm glad they didn't censor that because I really would have been disappointed. So you really like kind of felt like you was on the field, so that was pretty cool. But so now it's playoff time. It's playoff football. This it was starting tomorrow. It's Friday. It's Friday, January 8th. The first game starts tomorrow. So now we in the playoffs where it really matters. If your team made the playoffs, nobody else could say anything to you. You have a shot. Everybody has a shot, realistically. But so before we get into playoff projection, who we think we're gonna go the NFL awards, the season awards. First award we're gonna go with is comeback player of the year. And if your answer isn't Alex Smith, then something's wrong with you. I think he really deserves it. No one really else came back from injury. Next season, there's gonna be a lot of comeback players of the year. Saquon Barkley, McCaffrey, Bosa, he went down to some more key injuries. You know how that goes. What about you? Go Alex Smith, Logan?
Yeah, I was trying to think of a little counterpoint just to see because I know there is another player that somebody was really trying to push for another comeback player of the year, but I can't remember who it was off the top of my head. Me personally, I'm gonna go Alex Smith. I mean, you don't almost lose your leg, come back, and then basically go 5-1 as a starter in the NFL for no reason. I mean, Alex
The
Smith is
other the other options it says Garrett Bowles, Trent
oh
Williams,
yeah,
Jason Verrett, Rob Gronkowski, Roethlisberger too. You could put like before the last couple games, Roethlisberger might have won it, but
I'll go with Gronkowski if nobody else. My number one, Alex Smith. Number two, Rob Gronkowski. Just because, I mean, again, Tom Brady, TB12, Gronk. I mean, that's an unstoppable machine right there.
the coach. So moving on. So the coach of the year award. I think it was down to two teams, but I'm gonna go with Kevin Stefanski from the Cleveland Browns. Like what he did, losing Odell, and like if you look at the Browns' offense from last season to this year, and the whole team, like they're a whole different, way new team. Like they're not like unorganized and like out of control like how they were last year with all the expectation. Like they looked nervous out on the field last year.
I too have to go with the coach of the Browns, Kevin. What say his name, last name again?
Stefanski.
Fancy. Yeah, I mean, you don't take a team that hasn't gone to the playoffs for the first time in 2002 and don't get coach of the year, in my opinion.
I was either him or Sean McDermott just because the Bills, like they're really there. But
Yeah, but I mean, as good as and I really like him, but I mean, we got to take a look at this is going to play into the MVP talk we're going to have later. But I mean, Josh Allen. Stephon Diggs. That is a deadly, deadly combo right there. So we can go and check it up to the Browns head coach.
Absolutely. Okay. Next award, rookie defensive player of the year. There shouldn't even be discussion. Hold up, my bad.
Rule number one of the pods, you got to start us the.
All right, so the next award we're going to talk about is rookie defensive MVP, and there shouldn't even be a discussion, but there should be one other rookie defensive player who we need to shout out. We all know who I'm talking about. Big 99, Chase Young.
Of course.
But shout out to Jeremy Chin for going crazy this season, though. He balled out.
Yeah, shout out to Jeremy Chin, definitely.
Future of the Panthers defense for sure.
I'll go ahead and say this. I really do like Jeremy Chin at SIU. I actually got an offer to SIU same year that he was there. Like we would have been probably competing for the same role, which is funny. He was a safety. I was a safety. They were recruiting me as a safety. I'm gonna go ahead and throw another name out there. Again, Big 99 Chase Young is gonna take it home. He deserves it. Nobody else really does. He's a monster.
Who you talking about?
Patrick Queen on the Baltimore Ravens, LSU linebacker. Definitely did his work this year. Hella tackles. Go ahead. He doesn't deserve the award, but I got to shout him out.
And what we're going to talk about later, that boy has a big job. Do they play Saturday or Sunday? When he goes against Derrick Henry, it's up to him. Patrick Queen needs to make some big-time plays. Got to go low on Henry, or you're going to get, Josh Norman. But we'll get back to that later. All right, so defensive MVP's out the way. Offensive MVP, is it a little close? But I'm biased. I like the quick plays, the action pack. I'm going with the wide out. Gotta go with that boy Justin Jefferson. Break Randy Moss rookie record. Like I'll give it to him.
Of
LSU
course.
First year rookie.
Yes, sir. Again, I got to shout out LSU boys. So shout out always to my LSU boys. I said the only other one that I really could have. All right, so there's two that I would have thrown in there. One definitely can't be in there because he got taken away too early. That's Joey Burrow. That boy was on a tear before he got hurt. And then
I think there's another quarterback that had a good rookie season that I hope he named.
Oh, Herbert killed it
Absolutely.
too. Let's talk about it. Definitely most touchdowns for a rookie since Baker Mayfield. Again, not that long ago, but a hella great stat.
Especially for a guy who had a little what if about him,
definitely
they didn't know too much about him, hit or miss guy, and he balled out.
I was definitely a little shaky about him because they had Tyrod Taylor and then they didn't even play him in the first game. I was like, damn, that's a little dirty for Tyrod, but that boy came in and did his work. So shout out to Herbert. My other one that I was gonna say though, we got to talk about the Jags. That Jags running back, James Robinson, that undrafted kid, 1,000-yard rusher on a terrible team. I like him too. So I put it against Jay Jeff and James Robinson.
I'm pretty sure he's from Eastern Illinois, if I'm not mistaken.
I couldn't tell you what school he went to, I'll be honest with you.
James Robinson?
One of the few names that elude my knowledge about where they went to school.
Yeah, but he definitely had a good season. I'm biased, but I saw him, a rookie who I saw the most play this whole season, who's got some upside, Darnell Mooney, Chicago Bears wide receiver, really nice with the routes. That's who I have to name. That's the rookie who I watched the most this season. I'm not gonna lie to you. James Robinson, Illinois State. I knew it was Illinois. I heard about it. Okay, but let's move on. Defensive MVP, and I'm going with this one name because the MVPs be it's kind of like the NBA. Like sometimes they don't want to give it to the same dude every year, even though he has a great season, but it's not lived up to usually. So I'm going with TJ Watt, a new name. I know Donald had a great season, but I'm going with TJ Watt.
Yeah, I'm going Aaron Donald for sure. I think give it to that man until he retires.
When I was doing it, that was the first name on my list, but I'm going with TJ Watt just because I feel like they're trying to grow JJ's little brother, grow the name, and it'll be his first. Donald has a bunch of them.
I mean, stats to stats. TJ definitely, technically, his stats are better than Aaron Donald's. But my only problem is that, I think it's hard to trust players who it's hard to come in and be a big name right off the bat. Once you're a solid vet, they're already going to have plans for you all the time. So Aaron Donald's getting double, triple team every game, still having hella great stats. And that man's just a freak of nature. So I say give it to Aaron Donald to that man croaks.
Absolutely. You can't go wrong with Aaron Donald. He's always going to put up those type of numbers, like
Sure.
pretty damn near unblockable. Okay. So now, offensive MVP. This guy had a huge year, really followed expectations from his last season in the playoffs. Offensive MVP, Tennessee Titan, Derrick Henry.
Wow. Shout out to D. Henry. I mean, he's a generational talent. I'll tell you that.
Absolutely.
I definitely think that he should win it one of these days. But the two that I was going to throw up there for names.
Who was you going to say?
And I stuck them side by side just to see how they were doing.
Okay.
And it was Aaron Rodgers and Josh Allen.
Aaron Rodgers, Josh Allen. Okay.
Yeah. And I really wanted to go ahead and say Josh Allen just because, like we were talking about earlier, hell of a run this year. Those boys in Buffalo killing it. But I put them side by side. I think Aaron Rodgers has, 51 touchdowns total?
I think he has 48 and 5 interceptions. 5.
Yeah, 48 with 5 interceptions through the air, and then he's got 3 rushing touchdowns. I'm pretty sure the stat that I read was Josh Allen has, I think it was 35 total touchdowns. I think
37. 37.
Yes. 37 through the air, and then he had 8 rushing, so 45.
Okay.
45 total, and then he had 10 interceptions. And again, I was just quickly looking at stats and stuff, but I'm gonna have to go ahead and give it to Rodgers.
I'm giving it to Derrick Henry because my MVP, I don't think he's gonna win both. So I'm not saying who my MVP is yet. So, but that's why I got Derrick Henry winning offensive player because he had a huge year. Because I think this guy's gonna win MVP.
I feel you.
Okay. Now we're talking about you brought up Rodgers and Josh Allen. That's obviously your top two you're deciding. Who did Logan Butler go with on this one?
I went with Aaron Rodgers again. I really like the Bills. I really do like the Bills. But Aaron Rodgers is having an incredible year. I mean, it's hard to argue against him. There's been no real slip-ups on this game. And other than Tom Brady, he's a Hall of Fame guy, first ballot.
Right off the bat, yeah.
With everything he's done already. So, yeah, I go Aaron Rodgers for offensive player of the year. And
likewise, I did as well. That's why I went with. And I'm a Bears fan, and I hate playing against the guy, but you got to respect greatness at some point in time. Spectacular season. 48 touchdowns, 5 interceptions, best record in the NFC after, especially when, and the amazing is, imagine, this is the year they drafted a quarterback. Did Jordan Love go first round? Was that first round or second round?
It was second. I think it was second round.
It was late first or early second, but just imagine that the Packers pissed Aaron Rodgers off, and he did that. And a lot of people didn't like their draft too. People thought they needed a wide receiver. Rodgers was cool. Lazard, Devontae Adams, Rodgers was balling out.
Yeah, they ended up getting
MVP.
They ended up getting a running back too. They ended up getting A.J. Dillon out of Boston College, which is very unnecessary. They already have probably the second best for a 1-2 punch in the NFL. Latavius Murray and Alvin Kamara definitely up there, but I think right under them is probably Aaron Jones and Jamal Williams. So they got
Bears fan. The Packers always had 2 running backs. They always did that. Used to run down people's necks and make me want to throw up.
Yep, I get it, my boy.
Okay. Now we're talking real deal. Prime time playoffs. So this year they're doing a couple games on Saturday and a couple games on Sunday. So the games tomorrow, we'll start off with those first. Okay.
All right.
So we got Colts Bills.
Mm-hmm.
All these games are gonna be great games. I can't wait to watch them. Colts Bills. Who you going with that one?
Colts versus Bills. I'm going Bills.
Going Bills. I'm also going Bills tomorrow. I like Josh Allen. Shout out to the Colts, man. They got a great defense. Jonathan Taylor, I was big on. Phillip Rivers, I don't know if he could lead them. I don't know if he got that much left in the tank to beat Josh Allen, especially the way they've been playing. But the Colts they're gonna keep it close with that defense. But they're gonna be on the field a while though.
Uh-oh.
You all good?
I'm all right.
You think the same as well? You think they're gonna be on the field a lot?
Definitely. I think already that there's too much talk about what Philip Rivers is going to do in the offseason. I mean, I'm already seeing reports about him going to CBS and all these other stations to go ahead and be a announcer and all that type of stuff. So I
I
think,
remember he did a pending deal. I remember
yeah,
that.
yeah, which is cool. But I mean, the fact that we're going to go ahead and drop all this knowledge right during playoffs, I think you're kind of are you looking for a way out? Not a way out because everybody's showing up on Saturday and Sunday to compete, but I think you got your mind a little bit elsewhere if you're already talking about deals and all this.
Okay. Next game, moving on. Now we're going to NFC. I think is the most uneven game in the playoffs. I'm talking about the Rams Seahawks. Seahawks all day.
Shout out to the boy Russell Wilson all day. He's gonna knock him off, especially now with
Golf
do we?
thumb
What's
injury.
yeah? I was about to say we don't. Is he out for the whole? Is he out for the rest of the year? Is that
No,
what's?
he got his surgery 2 weeks ago, but there's a report that the backup quarterback might be getting some playing time too, so he might not be ready. I was just reading on it today.
What's hilarious is that my head coach in high school was Will Wolford, who was a part of the Bills, who was a part of the Bills team that went
Four
to the
straight
Super
Super
Bowl.
Bowls.
Yeah, lost them all, whatever. He was an offensive lineman for them, and
Okay.
this is his nephew, John Wolford, now playing in the NFL. It's fresh out of Wake Forest. I remember hearing stories about his little nephew when we were still in high school. So it's cool to
That's what's up, though. Good
uh,
connection.
yep.
Okay. Next game, the night game that night, Tampa Bay, the Washington football team. I'm going with Tampa Bay, Tom Brady, Team Money,
Got
TB12.
to. Got to. I hate to put it out there, but I got a bet with Dallas, you short motherfucker. Um, and he's gonna basically owe me money after Tampa Bay goes to the second round of the playoffs. I mean, we made a bet at the beginning of the year. The bet at first, I'm pretty sure was would they make it to the playoffs, and I want to say that the bet was for $50. The bet was a good $50 bet, not a lot, not a little, but a good amount of money. But then I started getting a little nervous about the bet. So every time we ended up hanging out, I was like, yo, how much was the money? How much money did we bet on
Yeah,
it? And then slowly, somehow it worked its way down to $20. Um, I'm not sure how this happened, but I'll go ahead and take my little 20 piece.
absolutely. I think they're definitely a second round team. If that would be the case, it'll be them in Green Bay next week. So that would be a
That's gonna be a
crazy
matchup.
game. Gonna be a huge Everybody's been waiting for that. That's gonna be the first Brady Rodgers playoff game. They've been trying to get in the Super Bowl, but Brady leaving. That's gonna be it. So then on Sunday, the first game of the day, best game of the day, a game that I've been going back and forth on, Ravens Titans, and I'm gonna start off. That boy Lamar Jackson was hurt last season. He was MVP, and the Titans took it from him too early. Couple drop passes really messed him up last season playoffs. Lamar Jackson not going. I'm going with the Ravens.
I hear you. So I'm from Louisville, currently stationed out of Louisville. Room's red and black for a reason.
Station.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. So, definitely that's been the talk of the town the last couple of days. We've been talking about this rivalry match. I'm honestly gonna say I think the Titans got it. I think the Titans pull it out again. I think it's gonna be a tough cover for what's his name? Marlon Humphreys, right? That's his name.
You
Yeah,
talking about on AJ Brown?
yeah. AJ Brown has come into his skin, bro. That is a monster out there. That is a dog. That's a grown man. I think that's gonna be tough cover for him. And I think, Derrick Henry, there's a stat, it's like Titans win like 85, 89% of the games if Derrick Henry rushes for like 100 yards. I think he gets, where's the game played at, first off? Do you know
Titans,
this?
Tennessee.
Yeah, all
Tennessee
right.
got higher seed.
Yeah, all right. I'm going with Titans. I think Derrick Henry scores 2 TDs. I think it's going to be a close game, but I think Derrick Henry has a monster game. I think it's not even really going to be. I think it's going to be a pretty decided game.
Definitely the biggest storyline game. Probably gonna be the closest game. I'm going with the Ravens, but I know Derrick Henry's still gonna have a great day. And like, if we could stop and we get a couple big stops, some wide receivers step up, I think the Ravens have a chance. It's gonna be a great game. Later that night, another big time game. New Orleans Saints, Chicago Bears. This could be the last game we ever see Drew Brees in a New Orleans Saints uniform. The Saints,
Yep.
they started off a little slow, little injuries, Now Breeze was out. Now they're back to full strength. But I'm a believer. Trubisky, Matt Nagy are still not the answer, but they're good enough. And this team plays with enough heart and got the defense where we could sneak this win out. So I'm going with the Bears. Controversial, hot take, call what you want, hometown bias. John Getner, G Money, going with the Chicago Bears bucket.
That's exactly what I'm gonna call it. I'm gonna call it hometown bias. Let's get a little more realistic now. Bears are gonna get smoked. Where's it at?
Smoked.
Is it at?
Huh? Smoked. It's in New Orleans.
Yeah.
Playing in the dome.
Yeah. I think not Tom Brady. I think Drew Brees.
The black uniforms, I bet, probably.
Good for him. I think Drew Brees definitely goes first round. I think Drew Brees rides out high, exiting this season. I think he retires after this season, and I think if he doesn't go to a Super Bowl, he goes late in the playoffs. That's just a hopeful thought. I'm not.
If he doesn't go to the Super Bowl, late for playoffs. Okay. Yeah, I could see it. But I think the Trubisky, we gave the Packers a game, and I'm just riding hot, and the Bears still need a new quarterback. But I think we could win this game. I think we can sneak it out. Okay, so we gave our first round, so let's move on. So the next game in the second round. Oh, no, hold up. I'm talking about the last. I forgot the last game that day, the night game. Another good game. Steelers, Browns. Mr. Butler. I'm going with the Browns.
Fuck the Steelers. I hate the Steelers.
I'm going with the Browns.
Yeah, I have a strong hate for the Steelers. Anybody that knows me knows that I hate the Steelers. There's a couple football teams that I hate with a passion, and I'll never like for any goddamn reason. Steelers in the pros, Ohio State, and Virginia Tech. Fuck all three of them.
Interesting fact. Maybe you should get that hate out your heart, young man. But hey, we'll move on. All right, so that's your first round.
Yeah, it's my first round.
I'm going with the Browns as well. I like them. So AFC second round, as we have it, me and you both have it this way. Kansas City, Baltimore. That's gonna be a great game. Unfortunately, I gotta go with the Chiefs.
Yeah. I mean, I'm pretty sure. Yeah, I'm pretty sure everybody's. I don't know who bets against the Chiefs.
It's hard to. It's like Alabama, like.
Yeah, it's like Alabama. It's like, man, like you know they're gonna choke like sooner or later, but you never like really want to put any money on it. You're never gonna be confident if you put money on it.
But like if they lose, like sometimes you room for the other team.
Yeah, just as hard as you're rooting for. Yeah, definitely. So yeah, I'm gonna have to say the Chiefs too. But again, I think it's gonna be Chiefs versus the Titans. If it's the Chiefs versus the Titans, I think it's gonna be a little bit more competitive. Honestly,
versus the Titans.
Yeah, because I think I don't know. It's like
the Titans take that game. So yeah, because I forgot you said you had Tennessee too. So did the Titans take that game? Just for people looking at the brackets, I'm going with the Chiefs because I got them playing Baltimore. Are you got the Titans taking that?
If again, it's like Alabama. I'm gonna say yes man. For all intents and purposes, I'm gonna go ahead and stand by my word. I'm gonna go ahead and say the Titans claim it. I'm not even a Titans.
Titans go to the AFC Championship.
Oh yeah,
possibility. I like it. That's a hot take. Okay, the second AFC second round game, Cleveland, Buffalo, two teams that are pretty high right now, two good defenses. It's really all about the quarterbacks and how they play, but there ain't no way Buffalo's losing this one. I'm going with the Buffalo. I'm going with the Bills. Bills Mafia.
Yeah, I might have to say Bills Mafia too. The Browns. It was funny. What did who was it? Juju. Juju just came out with a quote today and said, "I'm pretty sure they're still the Browns." It's like, he's right. It is still the Browns, so they're gonna fuck it up somehow. They got to the playoffs, but they won't go that deep, in my opinion. Still rooting for your Landry.
Juju, get your ass off TikTok. You're looking like a buster. But next topic.
Juju, you suck without AB. Let's talk about it.
Hey man, let him be easy with it.
Let's talk about it, Juju.
All right. So now we're on the NFC. Green Bay, Tampa Bay. Gun to your head. Had to put cheese on the line. Tough game, toss up, 50-50.
You said Green Bay versus who?
The Tampa Bay.
Oh, Bucks. I'm gonna go ahead and ride. I'm riding with Tom Brady till the wheels fall off on this one. Honestly, I'm
I
gonna go
like
ahead.
that. I like that. I'm going with Green Bay. I like that.
I'm like, Tom Brady's a bad man.
He is. He's an
Hey,
old man though.
I mean, Rodgers is up there too now. You got AB. You got AB who's never won a Super Bowl. You still got Gronk. Mike Evans is hurt, so he might not play. So, but you still got Chris Godwin. You got two dope ass running backs. Leonard Fournette, shout out to LSU boy, and Rojo.
Green Bay has some ball hawks on that defense though. Very
Yeah, they do,
underrated.
but they're missing their left tackle, David Bakhtiari or whatever his name is. I think that's how you say his last name.
He used to get pushed.
And that defense, the Tampa Bay defense is tough now. Jason Pierre-Paul, he's having a little second career now. Him, Sue, Devin White as a linebacker, Levante David as a linebacker.
It's gonna be a great game. I hope that's a night game.
Yeah, I hope so too.
That's a lot of storylines. Okay, so next game it'll be Seattle. I have versus going against the Bears. You could go against you got it going against the Saints. So I'll let you talk about that game first, and I'll talk about if the Bears play them.
I look at all the old players. Like I was a big Ravens fan back when Ray Lewis and Ed Reed and all them type of players were there. Mm-hmm. And so like I think every hero should go out on a shield and should be carried out. So I want to see Tom Brady not Tom Brady. I keep on doing this. I want to see Drew Brees go all the way and retire on top of his shield and all that. I don't see it happening though. I'm just being honest. DK Metcalf. I mean, again, I told you I watched DK play against Patrick Peterson this year, and just embarrassed Patrick Peterson. Patrick Peterson couldn't keep up with him or anything like that.
He was a DK Metcalf hater coming out of college.
Straight up. I did not believe any of the height of DK.
I told you, bro. You see this dude at the combine? No. Well, keep going.
Yeah, so I gave DK no goddamn respect coming out of college. But then, I mean, that's a bad man. Marshawn Lattimore is going to have his hands full. And then you still got Tyler Lockett, who's still an all-pro, and that's right.
Greg Wilson. Oh, yeah. Okay.
I think my bad. I also want to say I think Russell Wilson's going to be a little mad that he didn't get Offensive Player of the Year. So I think he's coming out looking for that Super Bowl.
So when you talk about Breeze going down the sunset, those opportunities, I thought last two playoffs, I had the Saints winning it all. I said Drew Brees going out. They lost to the Vikings both times. Those were Drew Brees' opportunities to win another Super Bowl. I'm sorry, Drew. You're my favorite quarterback of all time. But this is the last ride if you beat the Bears. I don't even know. But if we're talking about Seahawks, Bears, unfortunately.
Yeah, let's keep it a buck. Don't lie on camera.
I hope it's a close game. If it's a close game, I'll be satisfied, but this might get away from us.
Yeah,
I'll need some incredible form. So there's not a hot take on this one. I'm going with the Seahawks. But if the Bears pull it out, I'll be gladly wrong on that one.
Yeah.
I'll sit here and raise my hand. I was wrong. But really,
if the Bears get that, they would be the most undeserving team to actually because we still got teams that win like what?
Let's talk about like when the Ravens won or when the Giants won. Like that's who they would compare us to. When the Ravens snuck in the playoffs with Joe Flacco winning, when the Giants the second time they snuck in the playoffs and beat Brady.
Yeah, teams that are every time pulled it off.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Okay. So AFC Championship, high in the scoring game. We got the Chiefs versus the Buffalo Bills. This is two teams that everybody's running on Madden with. Like that's this type of game. Chiefs versus the Bills.
Definitely is.
I'm going the strongest take of the year. Buffalo Bills for the upset. Buffalo Bills in the Super Bowl, in the bowl.
Shout out to the Bills. Man, I'm just trying to think about it. Real quick. It depends for me because KC doesn't really have that great of DBs. I mean, the best one's I say that Tyrann Mathieu is a DB for KC. Shout out to LSU. But I don't know about their cornerbacks. Who's going to run with Stephon Diggs? was it Breeland? Rashad Breeland? He's not a household name. I think that's going to be a little tough for him. But then I think about, okay, well, who can cover Tyreek Hill? Nobody can cover Tyreek Hill, but the Bills do have an all-pro cornerback and an all-pro safety with Jordan Pointer as a safety, and then Tre'Davious White as a cornerback. So I think that helps a lot. I mean, these two teams you stack them up. They're two bad teams, two badass teams. I think I'm gonna go ahead and agree with you though. I'm gonna go ahead and say Bills Mafia takes it.
See the Bills in the Super Bowl. That'd be incredible. Like
It would be.
that'd be so
story.
cool.
Yeah, what a story for them. Because
That would be the world's crazy as it is. So the Bills coming back to the Super Bowl makes sense. Think about
it. Shout out to everybody. Shout out to all the NFL people who like if you're a true NFL fan, I feel like there's nobody that really hates on the Bills, and they sucked for a long time. They're like the Browns, but they're better than the Browns.
They're a lovable team.
Really,
likable team. I should say likable.
Yeah, exactly. So you can see why people hate the Browns sometimes. The Bills Mafia people, I mean, I've never heard anybody be like, fuck the Bills. So shout out to Bills Mafia.
Okay, so now we're going to go to the NFC.
Yes, sir.
Green Bay versus the Seahawks to go to the Super Bowl.
That was yours. Go ahead, speak on it. For me,
you got Tampa Bay. You got Tampa Bay, so I'll talk about it. Two quarterbacks that were both in the MVP. I think Seattle's defense is a little bit better, and Rodgers makes a couple interceptions. I got the Seahawks in the bowl.
Huh. Okay. Tell me how their defense is better
than Green Bay?
Yeah.
If Jamal Adams plays, that is good.
That's their only pass rusher.
Jamal Adams?
Yeah.
They be flying.
Name anybody on their D line right now.
Seattle be flying to the ball though.
I'm not. And again, all right. So before this episode even came out, or before we even talked about doing this episode, I was talking with another buddy of mine, and I said that Aaron Rodgers would win the MVP of regular season, and then Russell Wilson would win the MVP of the Super Bowl. Now that we're sitting here talking about it, like phone to phone, I would still think Russell Wilson deserves some type of an award if he doesn't go to the Super Bowl. But for me, it'd be Seahawks versus Tampa Bay. And I think the Tampa Bay's defense, I'm looking at it pure on paper right now. I think Tampa Bay's defense is way better than the Seahawks defense. Way better. And they have way more offensive weapons than their defense can cover. So I'd have to say, I'm saying Tom Brady all the way for another Super Bowl.
Tom Brady. Okay. So you got Tampa Bay versus Buffalo. That's who you're going with.
Yep.
And will be an interesting matchup because, and for Buffalo fans out there, if they see Tom Brady in the Super Bowl, they're going to be so pissed. They're like, man, we just had to deal with this dude for 15 straight years, winning every division. And now you tell me the one time the Bills finally win a division, go to the Super Bowl, they got to play this man. Oh, my God. That's going to be an insane storyline. Those fans are going to be so mad. Sports is all about storylines, and I would like to see that. But I'm going with, I got the Seahawks, Buffalo. I got, what is it, 2015 when Seattle won it, 2015? I got 2015 vibes.
Yeah, they don't have the Legion of Boom anymore, my dog. Bobby Wagner is the only thing.
Seahawks taking the ball.
All right. Seahawks versus Tampa, or no, not Seahawks.
Buffalo.
Tampa Bay versus Buffalo. I'm gonna run with my dog Tom Brady again. I mean, I used to hate Tom Brady, like with a passion, hate Tom Brady. And then I watched that amazing comeback that he did, and I've never been a dadder again. I was just like, he's Michael Jordan. You can hate him all you want to, but I mean, respect greatness. So Tom Brady till he dies, for real. Till he retires, till he puts it back down.
If he wins this year, is he gonna play again?
Yeah, definitely.
I think he should have retired after the Rams won, but give it to him, man. He gonna play till he want to play.
He literally, bro. I think literally he's just gonna keep if he can consistently make it to the playoffs. I think if he makes it past second round, I think I think this is a real feeler year for him.
It
I
was
think
it was a make or miss year. It was a new team at going out early in the playoffs last year. Whole new
yeah,
system, like Brady's system quarterback. This was like one of the biggest years in Tom Brady's career. And he showed up. You gotta give it to him. He showed up. I'm not saying he had a bad season. I'm not saying the Buccaneers are bad. I'm not gonna do that on this podcast right now. That's not what we do on Gap Talk. That's the podcast that nobody watches. Like that's not what we do. But
I just think all the slander that he received at the beginning of the year, I think he's looking at it all now and he's like, I'm gonna keep on doing this to these motherfuckers. I'm gonna keep on coming out here pissing everybody off. Because if you remember, at the beginning of the year, there was no positive talk about Tom Brady, and I was the only one saying, "Yo, he just got there. Like it's a brand new system. It's a brand new
and
coach."
they added weapons too, so that people.
Yeah, people were losing like roles. Like you're moving there's a lot of pieces moving right now. And then now that everything's came together, I don't hear anybody talking now. I don't hear anybody saying anything about oh maybe you should retire, maybe this, maybe that. Oh, Tom Brady maybe doesn't have it anymore. I don't hear any of that talk
On
anymore.
Tampa Bay, bro, they literally have like the most NFL stars. Like if they were a star at a time in their career on a team, think about it. They got
Yeah,
Tom Brady, they got Mike Evans, Fournette, Gronk, Sue, like who else
JP.
on? Like yeah, like look at all these stars that they have on this team. Like
Yeah,
so, like this would be a team like I don't know why
seems like
people prejudge like before the season. This would be a team people would put their money on to win. So I know a lot of people who did. Like there's definitely people who did like just on the stars alone. So like if they make it there, like they deserved it because
yeah. I mean, shout out to the Bucks front office or whoever was the one that made all the moves that they did. They took hella risks. They're getting all of the reward right now. They even took a risk with a
they're not thinking down the line. They
no, no,
just want
no.
to
They
win
were like,
now.
yeah, they were like, I don't care about any storylines that are coming with this player, that player, anything. We're putting all our eggs in one basket, and we are going full speed. Shout out to them; they deserve it.
Okay. So, okay, that concludes the playoff prediction. Thanks everybody for coming. But Logan, I got one last question. And you got
What's
to
up?
think about who you really hate more. So I'm recording this on Friday. The college football national championship is on Monday. Alabama Crimson Tide versus Ohio State. And you said you were an LSU fan. And
Yes,
you
I
also
am.
told me before you hate Alabama.
Yes,
So
I did.
put that boat beside them. For the people who listen at home who might want to put money on the line, who are you going with? Alabama versus Ohio State. I'm going to be crazy. I'm going to go against the grain like I do. I think this is another throwback to 2015, 2016 first college football playoff. Ohio State. They're taking it.
I hear you.
Buckeyes.
Um, so I mean, I say I hate those teams, but I got respect for teams. I respect Nick Saban. I hate Bama because I'm an LSU fan. Uh, I'll never like Ohio State, but I can respect a good program. So I've been thinking about this a lot. I feel like too many
Absolutely.
people are giving.
Everybody's been thinking about it. It's going to be a great game.
Yeah, I feel like a lot of people are giving Bama, or they're just already writing it off to Bama. I feel like, which is cool. I
And
think
Jalen Waddle coming back too. Like I get why they're doing it.
I
I do.
almost forgot about him coming back. I almost forgot about that one. I mean, if I was a betting man, I put money on Alabama. If I was trying to get the most for my money, I'm going to Ohio State. I really do like Ohio State. I think Ohio State proved everything that they needed to prove with a victory over Clemson. I don't think Mac Jones is a real quarterback. I think Justin Fields has him by a mile. So it's really just up to Mac Jones not making mistakes, in my opinion, which is going to be hard to make mistakes when you got the Buccaneers of the SEC. Like you got Devontae Smith and Najee Harris and Jalen Waddle. I mean, it's hard to miss with those guys. So when it comes down to it, I'm gonna go ahead. I'm gonna go against you. I'm gonna go against you. I'm gonna go ahead and say Alabama. But if they lose, it's because of
What
Mac
a
Jones.
switch up at the end. I
I
can't
know.
believe it.
I know.
A healthy Justin Fields. I'm going with him just because I saw the way he lost to Clemson last year. That's why I was thinking Ohio State. He was right with him. He made one bad play, and the season was gone. And he was thinking about that the whole offseason. There was a point in time Ohio State wasn't going to even play football. He thought his college football career was over. They gave him the chance. Ohio State executed. They made it to playoff, embarrassed Clemson, shut Dabo Swinney out. Ohio State, Buckeyes, national championship. I want to thank everybody for tuning in. If you like the podcast, please share it, subscribe. We're going to be pumping out videos. A new NBA video with a new guest is coming soon around the 10-15 game mark. So please be ready for that. But if you like it, please tell people about the podcast. I thank for all the support on the last video, and I'm really loving this. I'm really liking the interaction, and I'm just glad I got this going, and I hope everyone else is glad. Logan, I want to thank you, my brother. You showed up. You're really entertaining. You're wise. I hope you the best along the way. Hope people liked you, and hopefully you on Gap Talk soon. It was great to have you on. It was good to see you, my man.
Oh yeah, I'm gonna see you, Gap. If I can, real quick, I'm gonna go ahead and plug some stuff. I'm gonna be coming out real soon.
Turn it off now. Now I'm playing. Go ahead, go do
it. I'm gonna be coming out real soon with a comedy tour studio near you. Keep a lookout for that.
Comedy.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Okay. You think you're funny?